Mike, let's talk about some Brave stuff, because the one thing you consider or you continue to talk about is, and we're not even to the season yet,
Right.
Saturday, first spring training game, but you're concerned about, are we going to have enough pitching?
Yeah, I mean, Charlie Morton was a guy that, I was told by the experts that you got to, expect him to bounce. Guys generally don't get better as they get older, but coming back from that leg, he wasn't his full self, and that's why he was kind of the walking 4 and a third. Did have a nice run at times, but also was a little bit, wobbly. I'm just worried about the back end of the rotation. Look, Soroka is a story that everyone is pulling for, but even Shipper, when he was on with Steakhouse, was kind of saying, look, he hadn't pitched in 3 years, at the pro level. So do you really put any stock? You think he's going to get there? We're hoping, but then you throw in the fact that, some of the other guys out there, Kyle Wright, who won more games than anybody, and now he's got to be shut down for a little bit now and may miss most of spring training, according to our conversation with Grant yesterday, Grant McCauley.
If you're wondering, Acuna blasted a home run off of Max Fried in live batting practice at Cool Today Park. That's the name of the park down there in Northport. When you're going up against your own guys in live practice, you're trying to get pitches, you're working on certain things. But that did happen today. Let's hear from Michael Soroka. And again, he wants to be called Michael. All right,
Okay.
so we're going to respect that. Michael Soroka talking about his hamstring injury. Here's the update.
Can be a little temperamental, but fortunately it's turned around pretty quick. So, pretty frustrating, especially given, the early off season for me, just to be able to get ready for this spring training. And then coming down with that was not fun, but it's how it goes, and we'll be moving forward here pretty shortly.
The expectations, to your point, I don't have any. If he comes back and helps us at whatever point he comes back, and he's as good as he was 2 seasons ago, I'll accept it. I'll take it. I cannot go into the season, Mike, believing that Michael Soroka is going to be the second best starter on this team. It's not. Spencer Strider is. And you could argue Spencer Strider, depending on the day, may be the best starter if all his stuff is working with Max Fried. So I don't know if I have any expectations for Michael Soroka right now. I just don't.
No, I mean, like I said, we're all pulling for him, and again, if he can do anything and contribute and get you 20, I think I'll throw an abstract number, 20 starts.
Okay.
I think that'd be considered a success for Soroka based on where he's been, but just don't know what to expect. So we'll see. I'd love to have another arm out there, and maybe one of the younger guys, the other dudes can step up. Meanwhile, you mentioned the live batting practice today. Grant McCauley talked about Spencer Strider. He struck out Ozzie, Ronald Acuna, and then Eli Witt apparently hit one to the wall in right center. You already mentioned Max Fried, Kane, Acuna, but kind of cool to see those guys going toe-to-toe.
The reason why Fried gave up the home run, allegedly, thank you, Skip, was because he saw the pitch clock running down. So this is where this comes into play. The pitch clock's running down, winding down. He's got to throw a pitch within the time frame. And what do? You just, I got to get rid of it. Home run. These guys have to get adjusted to not rushing through the pitch clock. So that was something that happened today. Let's hear Michael Soroka talk about not missing any time, because he feels like that's going to be the situation for him.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be a little bit of a crunch time once we get back on the mound and stuff like that. But hopefully that's pretty soon here. We haven't really talked about that yet, but we're playing catch. We're keeping the arm going, so that won't take too long to come back. It's just going to be as soon as I'm running again and stuff like that, which again shouldn't be too long from now. So once we get there, it'll be go time.
I like the fact that jamming some reggae in the
Yeah, I
background.
like that, man. That's probably it's getting positive vibes out there. You take some BP out there, man.
You never know what's going to happen with the music and how selective they'll be, but they're rocking some reggae right there. Last but not least, Michael Soroka talking about he's just happy to be back, Mike. And this is the thing: how much can I help? I don't know. Is he considered to be, again, one of the top 4 or 5 guys? We're going to find out. But as far as him just being back, that's the biggest thing right now.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, obviously I'd been on the mound prior to camp, kind of building up like I usually would, and it was exciting to get to do that in hopes of just being out here to play baseball again. So when this kind of took me down, it was a little unfortunate, but again, it's how it goes. So I'm excited to get back out there and get in some games here in hopefully a few weeks.
Yeah, man. Now I'm Joseph for Jamaica. Been down there since December of 19.